Okay, guys, I'm going to go through the population and samples quiz that you just took to make sure that you understand it if you missed them. So first one, Ty makes balloon animals for birthday parties and wants to know what color balloons to buy. He surveys the 30 children closest to him. Identify the type of sampling method. Well, obviously it's not systematic because they're not doing every nth person. Some of you got confused on self-selected or convenience. Convenience just means you're asking the people who it's easiest for you to ask. So if you're at the birthday party and you're going to ask the children closest to you, that's convenience. Self-selected means you could ask anybody at the party just because you decided you wanted to ask them. So convenience would be the answer in this case. Okay, determine whether the sample may be biased. The Candlelit Dinner Candle Store surveys its Monday customers to find out their opinion on a new scented candle. Well, if you're only asking the people on Monday, then all those people that come on Tuesday through Sunday don't have any chance of being asked. So that would be biased because there's no way the customers on the other days even have a chance of being asked the question. Determine whether the sample may be biased. A TV station wants to get the opinions of viewers on the look of a new game show set. The station staff calls random people in the phone book. I know this idea of a phone book is like new to you guys, but they do exist. Kind of like you can look up people's phone numbers on the internet, you can also look in an actual book. Not many around anymore, but so the sample is not biased, it's random, or the sample is biased. Some people who watch the show are not listed in the phone book. Well, if you do not have a home phone, then your phone number is not going to be listed in the phone book. If your parents only use cell phones and no home phone, they would not have any chance of getting asked this question, so the sample would be biased. Okay, number 4, an equestrian center is surveying riders to determine which type of horse is the preferred riding horse. Identify which sampling method is random. Okay, so the first one, they survey 50 of its riders. The second one surveys every 10th rider at the stable, surveys 50 of his friends, or 50 of the best riders. Well, the last two are pretty obvious that they're biased because if he's only asking his friends, then there's lots of other people out there that can't be asked. If he's asking only the best riders, well, what about those riders who are not very good or beginners? So that would be biased. Some of you put every 10th rider at the stable, which that's systematic, that is random, but there are lots of riders that are not necessarily at the stable that day. So the best one would be the Equestrian Center randomly surveys 50 of its riders. Number 5, a newspaper is surveying voters from Idaho regarding voting issues. Identify the appropriate population. Well, they're wanting to know about voters from Idaho. So you would not put voters living in Boise, that's the capital of Idaho, because that doesn't include all of Idaho. People living in the state of Idaho, people of voting age in the U.S., or voters living in the state of Idaho. Well, you're surveying voters from Idaho about voting issues, so this would not be correct because everybody's not registered to vote. People of voting age, because just because you're voting age, you may not be a voter, you may not be registered to vote. So the best one would be voters living in the state of Idaho because your population is the voters. Number 6, which of the following best describes a random sample? Best is an important word there. Each member of the population has an equal chance of being chosen. Each member of the sample has an equal chance of being chosen. Randomly select the 21st person in the population, then every 10th. That is random, it's systematic. Select a person, then choose the next 25. Well, you don't want to do that because you're grouping them all together, and that's not going to be unbiased. So if we go back up to here, each member of the population has an equal chance, or each member of the sample. Well, you don't want to do just sample. You don't. Each member of the population needs to have an equal chance. So your best answer would be A, because you're taking a sample of the population. The most important thing about it being a random sample, an unbiased sample, is that every member of the population has just as good a chance as the next person to be chosen. Number 7, a movie company is surveying students about their favorite type of movie. Which of the following is the population? Well, they're surveying students. They want to know about students. So your population, teenagers waiting in line at the movie theater is not going to be it, because then you're only getting teenagers and you're only getting the ones that are actually at the movie theater. People leaving a movie theater, well, that's not everybody, because everybody's not at the movies that day. We want to know about all students. And 100 names randomly selected from the phone book, well, you don't know that those people are students. In fact, they're probably not, because they're living at home with their parents and it's going to be their parents' phone number. So your best answer would be all students who go to the movies. And then the last one, a movie company is surveying people about their favorite type of movie. Which of the following is a random sample? Well, this one's different. It's not just students. It's all a movie company surveying people. So a random sample, all students who go to the movies, well, you don't want to do that, because then you've got just students. Teenagers waiting in line at the movie theater, well, that's just teenagers, and we're talking about people. People leaving a movie theater, well, that's going to be biased, because you're asking just the people that happen to be at the movie theater that day. So your best bet is 100 names randomly selected from the phone book. And I know y'all don't really understand the whole concept of phone books, but and that's not a perfect one, because like we said before, everybody's not listed in the phone book, but that would be your best answer. And yay, I made a 100. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to email me and we can go over it individually. Have a great day.